Nice.
But yeah, she was posting about the 1984 and the midwife, or what is it, Handmaiden's Tale? Yeah, and then something else. They were like,
Henry's.
yeah. Hello, people of the BookTube universe. We are geeking out about editions of classics,
which Sanderson will be eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd have a hard time not being a classic. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and read this entire novella in this 2-hour block. We'll see if it works.
What?
Well, you're a mega fast reader, so.
You are a mega fast reader. We're gonna start sprints at 10 after, if that's cool with everybody.
Sounds good to me. I'm trying to have the actual video on the other screen in a way it doesn't distract me, so I can comment if people say things on the side. Okay.
I always forget that you guys can't get into the comments on this. It's really annoying.
I mean, we can. There is a comments, there's private chat and then comments. We just can't say anything. We can read them. We just can't.
See, that's stupid. Why is that a thing?
I think you can do that if you have the more expensive non-free version of StreamYard, but I don't know about y'all. I don't need to be that fancy. I can just write in the YouTube.
Yeah, well, and somebody's
gonna pull it up in YouTube. I've never actually done that because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. But I think if I just mute it, it would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. Sweet. Oh, I have many tabs open on I have it. I've been studying for a certification for work, so I haven't actually read very much in the last week and a half, and it's making me sad. So I'm really excited to read right now.
Yay! Guys, we get some reading time. I've been trying really hard to stick with my TBR for the month, and I'm close to nailing it, except for the fact that I'm slipping up with Way of Kings. But I'm only 178 pages behind. On.
Oh, I thought you were going to say left. I was like, oh, that's
good.
No. Hey, no. I can bet you're going to read Words of Radiance, both of y'all, faster than you read Way of Kings, because everything's a lot faster in general, because Way of Kings has so much build up in it. So I bet y'all are going to catch. I bet, Kat, you are going to definitely catch up in that one, because I don't know. When I reread Words of Radiance, I literally did not put it down. It was ridiculous.
So Sammy was telling me that chapter 65 starts the Sanderlanche. So once that hits, I'm confident that I will just speed through it from that point forward. But I've just been super distracted with everything else that I'm reading. So 11 more chapters and the Sanderlanche starts, and then I will be swept along to the conclusion.
Nice.
Well, Casey, chapter 65 is the tower, if that tells you.
Oh, yes. Yep.
If that tells you what happens.
I'm trying to find a bookmark for my reading today.
Come here.
No. How is everyone doing? Are you reading Way of Kings with us? What are you reading during the reading sprints? Oh, I'm going to be catching up on Way of Kings. You're going to be reading a novella, Casey, and then you also, Sammy?
Nope, I've got.
Oh, you're starting
Words of Radiance.
Yeah, okay. Overachiever.
Sanderlanche, what can I say? Not my fault.
No, I completely understand. I'm I have to read. I shouldn't say I have to read. I get to read Assassin's Quest this month and finally catch up with Becca's Elderling along. And I'll be honest, I've been procrastinating it because I'm afraid for Fitz. Nothing ever goes right for this poor character, and it's his last book in the trilogy, and I'm everything is going to be tragic. There's no way.
Well, apparently he comes back, or so I've heard. He comes back and Fitz and the Fool or something. There's another trilogy.
Yeah, him and the Fool get into some shenanigans, but I'm not sure what that is exactly.
I'm gonna while we're all reading, I'm gonna upload my Words of Radiance vlog that I attempted to film. I hate filming vlogs. I don't know about y'all. I don't like them because I actually have to edit. If you've watched any of my videos, I do as little as possible editing. But I enjoyed like my live reactions to stuff, so we're gonna see how this upload goes. It's a very long video. It's all right.
I like watching vlogs. I don't actually do the whole booktube thing. I enjoy watching vlogs if it's like a book I've read. So I'll watch it once I finish Words of Radiance.
Yes, don't
Tiana is
watch my
reading Way of
vlog.
Kings.
Do not watch my videos about the books until you're finished with the books.
You got it, Tiana. I have faith in you. I believe in you. I think you can do it. Words of Radiance on chapter 82. Well, so Sammy, you're being out overachiever.
What overachiever? And I'm not sure is that a praise? I mean,
It is now.
no.
Oh, it's fun.
I mean, technically, Casey is the one that's out overachieving first.
That's
all.
true. I'm pretty sure that's just a state of being for Casey. She's just ongoing all the timer.
I will say I'm enough ahead of my reading schedule that I'm actually going to try and get book 4 of The Wheel of Time in this month. It's just not going to be till after my exam on Thursday.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to read the
done
Wheel
by
of Time
Saturday
book in
morning.
2 weeks.
So it'll be fine. You'll read it in a day. It'll be fine.
Well, so I really enjoyed book 3 of The Wheel of Time, but like I basically had to tell myself to not read very much over the last week and a half because again I'm studying for a thing, and so I really wanted to read book 4 like back when I finished book 3 last month, but that didn't work. And so I'm like here now and trying to squeeze it in because trying to read The Wheel of Time and the entire Cosmere the same year was a bad idea, and the Cosmere was more of a priority than The Wheel of Time. So
yeah, I think Sammy and I are going to try to tackle Wheel of Time next year.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Tiana's name right.
Stormlight. I might need like a month or so in between, but
Right.
Wheel of Time is done. So as long as we have I want to say the first 2 books read before the show comes out, that's about all I really want. And then I can keep reading, obviously, but
I will warn that the first book is really slow, but like it's all really important, and like the pace definitely picks up in book 2, and 3 was awesome. I've heard 4 is the best one, so I'm excited.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I think I got through Way of Kings, so I think I can handle slow books.
It's more slow.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of akin to the Fellowship of the Ring, in my opinion, which is just
I read that, so
that's very slow.
I think she said she's reading 4, Monique.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's called The Shadow Rising.
That sounds right-ish.
Awesome. Books and Key.
Whoops. Book 5 of okay.
Nice.
Book 5 of Time. Cool. Only read book 1. Yep. It's interesting, Casey, because there's a character in Wheel of Time who you don't like that another booktuber is like really into.
Perrin, we've discussed this.
Yeah, okay, all right. And is Perrin like, is he sort of morally gray? Is he like a darker character and you're just more for like the Knights people, or is he?
He's just whiny at this point.
Oh, okay.
And like he's just unhappy with everything, and like everybody's kind of unhappy with this, like the fates that have been thrown at them in this book, because they're like, well, I didn't want this. I don't want to be part of this nonsense, like in the breaking of the world. But here everybody is. He's the only one who's complaining about it. So I'm like,
Gotcha. All right, that's fun. So I'm on 53 in Way of Kings, so that should be fun.
what part are you on right now, Kat?
Like what time?
So right now we're with Dolinar and his second vision that we get to see him through.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure is the time when the I think we're seeing like the radiance turn against the kingdom and stuff. I think. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the chapter yet.
Nice. Cool.
I really was super brokenhearted for Kaladin whenever we had that chapter where it
Where
wrapped
things.
up all of his things, and it was like, oh, dude. No wonder you just want to say F it and walk away. That's really awful. And I hate that for you.
Yeah, I forgot about a thing that Kaladin goes through in Words of Radiance, and I'm obviously not going to say anything, but like it just hurt so much, and I was like, I literally was like, I had to like put the book down for a minute. I was like, I can't do this right now.
I can't do this to you again, Kaladin. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and I feel for Seth too. And I'm almost. I think I'm sad for Seth because I was hoping we would get to see him like come in more and be more of a character, but I think we're just sort of watching him
Just wait.
like self-destruct. And I'm like, Seth, no. All right.
Hey, it's time for us to read.
Yep, I got the alarm set, so I'll see you guys at 40 after.
Okie dokie. Happy reading, everyone. Gotta find my mute button.
Muting myself.
How do we do?
So I'm going to count my pages as half pages because the book is this tall. Also, it's really dark in here, so I apologize for that. But I got 30 pages because I read 60 little pages.
That's so awesome.
16? Basically, I read the prologue, and I was confused for the first few pages. Then I was like, "Oh snap! Not confused anymore."
How about you, Kat?
I got 23.
Nice.
Yes. Monique, I love Kaladin too.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, Jess. 10 pages of Warbreaker. Heck yes.
Warbreaker is a good book. I'm enjoying it. I got my roommate to read it as her first Sanderson book ever, so it's been fun.
Very cool. Casey, do you want to call the next sprint?
Sure. Y'all want to do 45 or 50? And we can go for 30 minutes from there?
You call it.
Okay. 45 to 15.
All right.
Easy math.
Yes.
I like easy math. It's much better than hard math.
Yeah, I was trying to I spent a good amount of time trying to figure out where this book actually started because the first chunk of this novella is actually we get in an interlude in Words of Radiance. So about 60 of the little novella pages is the interlude that we get in Words of Radiance. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, because I kind of saw where you were at in the book, and I was like, dang, I didn't know she read that fast.
No, I skipped 60 pages, and then I read 60 little pages.
So, this is which novella is this?
Edge Dancer, it's 2.5.
Okay.
You and I, because we did the thing with the leather-bound book and all that, we should be getting the e version of 3.5 before 4 comes out. So that's exciting.
Hopefully I'll be able to read 3.5 by then.
Well, hey, you're aren't you gonna just not plan to get to book 4 anyways until February?
Yes. That's the true thing also.
You got this.
I don't know, we say that and then life happens and it's
yeah.
Well, the prologue of Words of Radiance was really interesting. I didn't realize that what it was about is what it was actually going to be about. And I was like, oh, okay.
I forget what that is. I just finished that book and I'm I don't remember anything.
Yasna in the palace.
Oh, yes. Good old time.
Yep.
Oh, it's killing me, absolutely killing me that Teft knows what Kaladin does, and he's just not telling him.
He will.
I'm mad about it. I'm salty. I'm why won't you just say something?
In his defense, Kaladin is being stubborn and difficult, and not wanting to hear about things. So
that's always that's not different.
Yeah. I need to figure out better lighting because there's just not an overhead light above me, so it's really hard to read because it's dark outside. During the day, it's fine because the window's open. So I'm I need to. And I have this nice lamp that just swings around above me, but it makes the video look all disgusting. So it's fine. Everything is fine.
It's all good. Yeah, I just generally, my lighting is weird. I don't know. It looks like fake lighting to me. I don't like it. I can't ever get my lighting to be what I like.
I don't like the LED blue lighting. So your ring light is probably that light. So the light that I have in this lamp is one of those warm lights. So it's this yellow nonsense. But
so I can change it So like there's like the orange one,
Oh, okay.
and then there's like this one and this one, which I don't like. That one's kind of better, but still. Let's see. 50 pages of Fires of Heaven. You and Monique are gonna have to geek about Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I need to catch up with her. She's ahead of me, so. Nice, Tiana.
Nice, Deanna. Hey, 40 pages is 40 pages.
Yeah, that's a lot of pages.
All right.
Right.
Oh, and Jess, did you just finish the original Mistborn Era 1 series? Because that's a good one. Era 1 and both of them are good. I liked Era 2 as well, so.
Man, I need to pick up Era 2. I'm excited about Era 2. I feel like it's going to be fun.
By the time you pick it up, hopefully Sanderson will almost be done with the 4th book, because it was supposed to come out before book 4 Stormlight Archive. So like I finished the first 3 and then I was like, oh, the 4th one should be out, but then it wasn't, and I was sad. So
yeah, I remember him talking about how people were going to be upset with him for that.
It's the next one he's working on, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah. All right, let's read.
Real quick, Jess, Era 2 is the Wax and Wayne series, so it's 3 books after the first 3, just to answer your question. And happy reading. How'd everyone do?
Perfect timing. I just finished a chapter.
I technically read 11 pages, but I'm going to call it more like 13 or 14 because I had to reread some because there was so much information in this chapter that I was like, wait, what? I'm not ready for this.
Crazy.
So I read 20 pages and I just go ahead.
Oh no, you finished. What's up?
I just got to the end of chapter 54 and there's this really crazy contraption. It's like you can't read the stuff that's on it. I'm like, why would you do that? I need to know what it is.
Is that the Navani contraption, or am I just crazy? That might be the next book.
Hold on, where's my camera?
Oh yeah. Coolio.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. That's fun.
I got 70 little pages or 35 normal pages.
There you go.
I might actually finish this. I was kind of like just joking about finishing it. Actually, yeah, if I can read 70 pages again, I'll finish it.
Dang.
Let's see, 20 nights, Monique. And 50 pages for Tiana. Gosh, dang.
Nice. Way to go, everyone.
Y'all are on it. So that means I'm down to being like 120 pages behind. That's
Hey, you're getting there.
All right, Sammy, you call it this time.
Let's see. I guess it's up to how much time we want left at the end. Do we want like 10 minutes left at the end? Because we could do like a 25-minute and do 25 to 50.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
That way we have 10 minutes to kind of close it out and stuff.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Good job, Jess, as well.
Yeah, with these Stormlight Archive or even, the Mistborn books, any Sanderson book reading 20 pages in half an hour is impressive. Or, any amount.
No kidding. Yeah.
I remade my drink in that last.
I did too. I slipped away to make another drink and then I had to slip away to tuck my boys in. We had a birthday celebration today, so they're on a sugar crash. So they were all sweet, like, "Oh, Mom, thanks for coming to tuck me in." I'm like, "Oh, you're cute when you're sleepy." They're actually cute all the time. They're just louder whenever they're tired.
Yeah, I'm in the phase of my life that I have a bunch of plants, and that's the commitment I'm ready for. So,
have you seen the meme that's like, there are crazy cat ladies and then there are crazy houseplant ladies?
I don't think I'm full crazy houseplant lady because most of the plants I have, I actually can put in food. Like it's mostly herbs and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm like, it costs $3.98 at our local grocery store to buy the plant. It also like the full plant that you grow, and then it also costs $3 for just the small chunk of the fresh herbs. So I'm like, real plant makes more sense. So
yeah, for sure. I have crazy herb beds out in front of my house that I'm super proud of, and like I love harvesting them, and like I'm always super proud whenever I have them, but drying them and then getting them into a container is ridiculous because they're like 3 or 4 year old herbs, and herbs are pretty much just weeds, so you put them in the ground outside and they're like boom. It's like my oregano, I'm like, you're going in a pot next year because you are misbehaving and taking over my entire
rent this lovely townhome that I'm in, so I don't have even like really a big outdoor space, and so mine are all inside. I recently figured out how to put my plants onto like a hanging rod because they're in my kitchen, which is that way at this point, and the the issue is that like winter's about to happen, and I have 2 really big plants and giant pots outside that are gonna have to come in for the winter. So I'm gonna need to roll my herbs out of the kitchen to like the living room for the winter. So I've been trying to address that problem in advance. So
Right. Yeah, we actually need to bring some of our plants in. We have some succulents on the front porch that are not going to be happy with how cold it's going to get tonight.
I mean, I've been
100 pages during both sprints. Good job.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in Texas, so it's not quite winter yet, but I'm just planning far in advance.
It's like, I think it's supposed to be 7 degrees Celsius tonight, which is, I don't know, mathing is hard. It's like 50 degrees in Fahrenheit or something like that. And Aloe and Jade don't like that. They're like, no, it's too cold.
No, it was like there was a cool breeze today, and it was like 80 degrees. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
90s and 70s in Florida. Oh,
It's a
you
little
didn't
less
get
hot.
hammered by that hurricane, did you? There's like alligators in people's houses and shit, guys. It's crazy.
We're about to get hit with beta, which, by the way, this is the second time in recorded history that A, there's been 6 active tropical related storms in the Atlantic, and B, that we've actually hit the Greek letters. The last time we hit the Greek letters, it was 2 months later in the season, and it was the year of Katrina.
Oh,
We're 2 months ahead of
sorry.
schedule. 2020 was great, everybody.
I saw this thing the other day. I posted it in the Discord, and it was like 13 says it's the unluckiest number, and then 666 comes in, and it's like, no, I'm the unluckiest number, and then 2020 comes in, and it's like, bitches, please. I'm like that.
Yeah, I hope you're okay with everything, Monique, if y'all got hit with that hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane. Yep. Ugh, that sucks. Sucks so bad.
Speaking of TBRs, I know you brought it up earlier, Kat. I've been like, I went like way too hard with like the first 2 months of me being on BookTube with my TBRs, and I like was very like structured and stressed about it. And then like every time a readathon would pop up, I'd be like, oh no, I have to squeeze in all these other books that match these themes. So I've decided that I'm gonna have loose TBRs for like multiple months, and that way I can like throw other stuff in there. I actually filmed the other day because I put on like a full face of makeup or something. And I was like taking advantage.
Right, yeah.
I filmed like it's going to be like my October through February TBR, like fall winter themed books that I'm going to read.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I've been looking for a way to maybe work in some more like mood reading stuff, but mostly like I'm trying to focus on how I'm going to structure my wrap-ups, because I just hate doing wrap-ups. I hate doing wrap-ups because I feel like I'm just saying the same thing about the book that I was saying in my TBR. Like, oh, it's about this thing, but I can't say anything else because otherwise spoilers. It was a good book, or I didn't like it that much. You know, it's like it's not really.
I realize I'm not very good at reviewing books, firstly. I'm like, this was awesome or it sucked, and here's why. I think the only book that I had, like, I wrote a book for the Rory Gilmore 24-hour readathon because I love Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, I saw that on your channel.
The only one, I straight up was like, I hated this book. Trigger warnings for a lot of things. Like, that was the only time. I had some spoilers in that book, but I'm also like, they raped so many people. People need to know about this going into the book. I didn't know about this going. So yeah, that's I think the only book I've actually like said with spoilers in my wrap ups. But I'm like, it was bad. Did not like it.
So we've got 1 minute to sprints. What's the most triggering book you've ever read? Mine is The Secret of the Devil Vine, which was awful.
The Poppy War was mine.
Yeah, that was pretty bad too.
So the book that I was just talking about, it was A Clockwork Orange. I wouldn't say that was the most triggering book because I kind of just like sped read it as fast as possible and basically skimmed it just to say I had read it because I was doing that readathon.
Yeah.
I think either honestly, like I'll grab it real quick.
She's got a fancy chair. She can just like slide across
This book
the room.
here, In the Face of Jinn, has a lot of. It's like people are like trafficked in the Middle East, and it's
Ooh.
or North Africa, and it's a lot of bad things happen. It was a great book. However, I was listening to it on audiobook, and I wasn't expecting that to happen. And when triggering things happen and I'm reading, I can just read faster and not imagine things. I couldn't really like speed up her voice, so I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
Great book, really important book, and like I covered a lot of good stuff and it was very entertaining, but like FYI, don't do audiobook.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. All right, let's do this last sprint and see how far we can go.
Last sprint.
We'll see if I can finish this nonsense.
How'd we do? Oh, I almost finished a chapter. So close.
I have 1.5 pages left.
All right, so let's finish up our pages here because I feel robbed.
Fiend. The end.
You did it.
You did it.
So y'all haven't met Lift yet, but you'll meet her in Words of Radiant. She's just very interesting, and I put a lot of stuff in the channel I made for Edge Dancer. I actually titled the section novellas, Sammy and Kat. So if y'all think it's a good idea, we could probably add the rest of the novellas in there that exist, because there's a few, just for people to discuss them if we wanted to. But I always think, like, initially I'm like, she's a weird character, but then by the end of this little novella, I'm almost like, I love her. So I forgot that I had that like transitionary reaction to her character. So coolio. So I got 75 small pages, which is like 38.5 normal pages.
That's really awesome. Let's see. I got 949 to 966, and that's hard math. I'm on page 56.
That's like 17.
It was enough.
Yes.
Little TBRs for me too. Okay, so like mood reading TBRs, many.
Yeah.
Pages, very nice.
Nice.
Heck yes, guys.
Total, I got 40 pages read, which is the prologue and chapter 1 of Words of Radiance.
That's really good for like dipping your toes into a Sanderson novel. I mean, that's yeah. Pat yourself on the back for that one. I'm officially only 110 pages behind.
You're so close to the Sanderlands, it'll be fine.
yeah, I'm not too worried.
That's awesome, Monique, that you're at 216 pages during these sprints. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Wheel of Time ones are chunky.
Dang.
Maybe we should try to do a Wheel of Time thing sometime next year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So much Sanderson left to read.
The Wheel of Time is kind of like adjacent to Sanderson because Sanderson finishes them. So like when I was reading all the Cosmere, I was like, I want more Sanderson. So that's why I was like, I'll pick up the Wheel of Time because he finishes them. And that was nuts of me, but here we are.
Yeah, so Sammy bought me the first book of the Wheel of Time for my birthday because she's amazing. And I was like, man, this is like...
That's a nice hardcover version.
Book on my shelf. I mean, it's like physically large.
So if you had the big versions of the... if you had the big versions of the Store My Books, I think they definitely be bigger.
This
but
is like 660 pages total. Yeah. Ooh. I like it.
Yeah, I don't have space. I'm out of bookshelf space. And here. So I'm reading them on my Kindle. So y'all will have to tell me if there's any cool maps or things I'm missing, because I probably am. But I figured whenever I finish them, I'll buy them.
Oh my gosh. So I opened up the...
Oh wow, that is definitely a map
really
that I was not aware existed. I did not.
So I opened up the Arcanum Unbounded today just to take a peek because it came in the mail, and I loved the yes,
the constellation.
I was like,
kind of thing.
oh, it's all the little planets.
That's awesome.
And where they are in the world.
Hold on. That sounds really bad. What was that?
Casey's breaking stuff.
Elantris fell off the shelf, but it's fine. I don't remember if mine had that cool map. I don't think the UK version did, because I have I bought the UK prints of all of the books I didn't have because I liked the white books.
Yeah.
The way the spines looked and all that, and the watercolor art. Oh, I don't have that cool map. I just have the
it's
cellar
just like it's a
system
really
map. Sorry, this one.
complete picture of all the different places, and I know that the imagery has to be relevant somehow. I'm gonna try to get it on the camera, but like cell.
Is that on the end papers, or is that where is that?
Beginning and end papers.
Okay.
And it's like a little genie lamp looking thing for cell, which is over here. It's really weird. And like Roshar is here, and it's like a little warrior guy.
I don't have
Cool.
that. I just have I just have the cellish system, like in terms of, I have like at the beginning of each different section, I have one of these guys, which is like the planetary. Sorry, this way, planetary maps. I hate that but the cameras are kind of flipped.
I will totally
anyway.
read Wheel of Time with you, Monique. That's something that we can definitely try to work in. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it with the Cosmere yet. We're going to have to see how Cosmere plays out. But yeah, definitely it's on my radar to start next year at the very least.
And hey, Monique, I know you commented on my Stephen King related video. I'm planning on about wanting to maybe buddy read them. You should definitely message me in Discord, but I'm planning on trying to read Carrie and Misery and potentially Desperation in October because I'm nuts. So we'll see. Send me a message in Discord if you about which one you want to read with me.
Oh, gosh. I'm supposed to put together like a TBR for October for the Gothtober read-along that I'm doing with Hannah over at.
What is that?
Ladette M. Hang on, I'll put it in the links.
I'm about to pour more whiskey into my cup. It's fine. Everything's. I had a little.
Always more whiskey. Always.
Well, I had an extra 3 tablespoons of pineapple juice. So I'm like, I gotta even it out.
Of course.
I'm going to be pouring myself another vodka and seltzer water here in a minute. I've been sipping on those while we drink. while we read. I'm drinking while we read. I linked it in the comments there.
Awesome. I'll watch. I got it. I'll go check that out because I might be able to. I'm reading. I just filmed my spooky book TBR kind of thing, but those books behind me right there is my October, November, December time books, and I'm trying to embrace the dark academia feel in my life just because I want it to be cozier than it is in Texas, and I want to do that. So. Yeah, and then I'm also just reading a bunch of scary books, so some of which I bought today.
See, I read a book called I Remember You, and I'm just going to put it in the chat too. I'm not even going to try to attempt her name, and once you see it, you'll see why. And I read that October of last year, and I just don't think I can read scary books. It fucked with me real hard for a long time. I can't do it.
I haven't honestly read so I've read a lot of Stephen King, so I can't say I haven't read straight up horror, but I don't actually think his books are that scary. They're a lot creepier than they are scary. And I definitely have to do. Oh, I think you actually sent me or told me about that Icelandic name before.
Yeah,
we might have discussed this already, but.
Yrsa
Sigurdardóttir.
I'm lost on that one. I really, I just don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that one at all.
I can't say I don't like so I know I can't even begin to deal with scary movies, and I don't like scary audiobooks, and I know that because I've attempted to listen to Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, the giant, the full cast one that came out a few months ago. It's super well done, but it is horrible. It is horrifying. And I think it's the music because that's the same reason I can't do scary movies, is the whole like atmosphere. I'm going to finish listening to that audiobook in October because I would like to, because I used a credit on it.
Right.
And also, I only have like 6 hours left, so I can man up and do 6 hours.
I used to enjoy like gory B-rate movies. Like that was something that I used to really like. Hatchet was one of my favorite movies for the longest time. And then just like a switch flipped at some point, and I was like, this is pretty messed up, and I don't think I like this anymore. And I just can't do it. And I love psychological thrillers, but some of them really mess with me. Like I watched The Skeleton Key and had a really hard time looking at mirrors for like a long time. It was bad.
So like, I have issue when it's like a kind of a semi-realistic setting. Like with a lot of Stephen King's, that I've read at least, there's like the horror is so like either just something that just wouldn't happen in any amount of real life, or like there's straight up supernatural things happening, or it's some like power that somebody has, or there's like a clown that's also like a spider. Long story short, I did not do well with Mr. Mercedes because it was like a detective crime thriller, and there was a real human villain killing people, and he was hella messed up in the head. Like I did not like. I liked it and it was good. I really liked because it flipped perspectives between the cop and the like psychopath. I hated the psychopath chapters. Like after I would read a chapter of his, I'd have to go read something else before I came back to the book. So
what's that show that Woody Harrelson's in? And it's like him and is it Woody Harrelson and
is it True Detective?
Yeah.
On
yeah.
HBO.
So
I watched a couple episodes of that, and it's good, but like I couldn't get into it. It's weird.
I watched a season of that with my in-laws, and I was like, why have we sat here and who thought of this? You're fired. Like, you're so fired. This is wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to like branch out my horror suspense thriller novel. So I was like, I'll try James Patterson. And I started with A Long Hymn of Spider, and the villain was super messed up in the head. I'm like, but also it was a super good book. So I kind of want to keep reading the series, but there's like 30 books in the series. I'm like, I don't know if I could handle 30. Like, obviously they have different villains
in this person's head.
I do think they have different villains, but this villain from the first book's at least going to be in the next book because like he got out of jail. So I'm like, okay, am I emotionally capable to handle this right now?
Am I committed? How bad do I want this? Sammy, do you like horror stuff? Like, do you read horror stuff at all?
Not consistently. I really like psychological thrillers in books. What's the Lock Every Door? And another big one that was out last year, Turn of the Key. Those are two of my favorites. I have Imaginary Friend by the same person that wrote Parts of a Wildflower on my shelf, and I'm considering reading it in October because it's like one of the only scary books I own.
Ooh, I didn't know about that one. I really like Perks of Being a Wildflower, or Perks of Being a Wallflower. Is that what you said?
That's what I was about to ask. I think that's what she said, but I heard really good things about that book. I loved Perks, although I did not expect what that book was really about when I went into it. So I like
neither did I. But then whenever it wrapped up in the end, I was like, "Oh fuck, dude!" Like, no.
And like, so they like, and the movie I think was a fairly well done adaptation, but they definitely don't touch on a lot of the trauma that the people like go through, which I think is kind of okay for the movie,
but it. Yeah, I have some mixed feelings about that. But Imaginary Friend, like, what's the
synopsis on that one?
From what I can gather, this kid goes into the woods, like doesn't really run away from home, but he goes into the woods and then he comes back with an imaginary friend that he didn't have before. And so, I can read you the little blurby thing in here if you want.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Monique says it's really great.
Yeah, definitely read it before. I'm intrigued.
Okay. Christopher is 7 years old. Christopher is the new kid in town. Christopher has an imaginary friend. We can swallow our fear or let our fear swallow us. Single mother Kate Reese is on the run. Determined to improve life for herself and her son Christopher, she flees an abusive relationship in the middle of the night with her child. Together, they find themselves drawn to the tight-knit community of Millgrove, Pennsylvania. It's as far off the beaten track as they can get, just one highway in, one highway out. At first, it seems like the perfect place to finally settle down. Then Christopher vanishes. For 6 long days, no one can find him, until Christopher emerges from the woods at the edge of town, unharmed but not unchanged. He returns with a voice in his head only he can hear, with a mission only he can complete. Build a treehouse in the woods by Christmas, or his mother and everyone in the town will never be the same again. Yeah, that's it.
There's a lot going on in that. That's what I'm going to firstly say, but it sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like mind things like that, like psychological thrillers. I can get behind that. I feel like that's different than horror, even though it's kind of like in the same vein. It's a different kind of fear.
Yeah, I got voluntold kind of into starting a book club because
Voluntold.
there's a whole lot going into that, but like because this one and the other one I'm kind of in charge of or being in charge of doing is not enough for me to do with book clubs. But they all voted to read The Plague by Albert Camus, which is technically a horror novel. It's like an allegory to the Nazi occupation of France during World War II. But there's also a pandemic and people don't get to leave their houses. I'm like, why did y'all want to read this?
Dude, oh my god. So this is super like out in left field. But my husband and I started watching The Last Man on Earth. It's written by Will Forte, who did like a lot of SNL stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of like religious stuff steeped into it, which made me not want to go for it for a really long time. But we're finally into it. We're into like season 3 or 4 now. And the whole premise is that this virus breaks out and that's what causes things. And there's so many places where I'm like, oh God, oh, this is where we're going. All the stupid people are going to survive. What is this? What the fuck is happening? And it's hilarious, but also terrifying because, yeah.
I bought this today because it was pretty, and I've only read one other Agatha Christie novel, but it's like
I love Agatha Christie. I used to read her in middle school.
I think this one's gonna be a movie, but like I saw it and I'm like, I want to read more of her mysteries because she's like a quintessential author and whatnot. But it was so pretty. This is like might be more of a like springtime read for me because like it's
that's a book that looks like you should read it on the beach. Like I think
exactly that's what I. But I'm for sure reading these two in October.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I need to go through the Gothtober prompts and go ahead and get my TBR together because I haven't done that yet. And I think it's gonna end up being like probably a lot of urban fantasy involving werewolves and witches instead of horror stuff because I read horror things and then I lay in my bed at night and I'm like, it's gonna get me.
Oh,
like a 12-year-old.
There's a lot of prompts on this. Ooh. Oh. So, I like
She's
it.
done such a good job with it. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for it.
I'm gonna now have to participate in this too because you're like, oh yeah, I like it. Off the like vein though, I don't know if I have a like where the lies prompt, like a book where the title has liar, lies, or lying in it, or the main character is a liar. I think that's the only thing I kind of don't have off the vein. But
The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager is what I think I'm going to read for that.
Ooh, I've been wanting to read Riley Sager, and I just haven't yet.
Yeah, because she was about what was the one I just said like 10 minutes ago?
She's the one that the famous booktuber is doing it. They're doing like a Riley Sager year kind of, but they're reading one in October. Anyways, I don't remember which one it is, but it's the green one, Home After Dark or something.
Is it like Murphy Napier or something?
Oh no, but I recently found her book too. I don't know why I didn't know it existed before, but anyways, moral of the story is she's great. So,
I like her videos. I didn't I was subscribed to her for a really long time, and then I unsubscribed because she posts so often, and there's like a certain few series of books or a few series of videos of hers that I like to watch and listen to, but not all of them necessarily. Mostly because she emasculates me as a reader. She's like, I read 45 books this month, and I'm like,
it's Books and Lala's Literally Dead Book Club.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't watch a lot of her videos, but I like Noel Gallagher's videos, and they just started that late night book club, and they're partnering the book clubs for October, which is the only reason I know about all of this.
Right. Right.
Anyways,
your books are fantastic, according to Monique. She's another overachiever reader.
Yes,
she's rocking it.
Yeah, these October prompts look fun. I'm gonna
I'm excited.
I don't know if there's a Discord or not.
I don't think she has a Discord together. Hannah's main social media seems to be Twitter.
Okay.
So I will probably not be directly participating in that way, just because Twitter is good for a lot of things. But also the drama is just, I can't. I can't. I participate in like the social movements and things on Twitter, but as far as like keeping track of Twitter, I can't deal with it.
Real quick, just because I want to make sure I understand this. I should probably explain it in her video, but I figured I could ask you. The own voice staples for the BAME read, what does that acronym mean? If you don't know, I'll just watch the video.
American something.
Black.
Yeah, I used to know. But
It's really bothering me that I don't know.
You know what? We have Google.
I was gonna say I'm getting ready to just go to her video and pull it up because
Black, Asian, minority, ethnic.
Black, Asian, minority. Yes.
Cool, awesome. That's a good prompt.
Yeah. So she just like
LGBTQ+, BAME, disability rep. That's a bunch of good reps there.
Yeah, she's just pretty much pushing for any like readathon or anything that she does now to include some kind of representation. That's like her entire field right now, is she's like just read something with a little bit of representation in it.
That's definitely important. Like, even if we weren't in like going through the things in America and like all over the world that we're going through right now, because I just know that a lot of people who are in the like generally minority ethnicities don't get a lot of they just don't as easily get recognition in any field that they're in. Like, I know I'm a woman in tech, and that's a minority, and like it's so like I'm obviously not African American, I am Hispanic, so it's like I kind of like get parts of it, so I'm like, give all the rep. So yeah, it's a good time.
It's really it's like supremely important to a point of I almost feel bad reading things like Sanderson and Robin Hobb, because it's like, oh, but it's classic fantasy, and it's like, oh, but is it classic fantasy or is it just classic white fantasy? So it's like, I have a really hard time.
I think it's a good example that I didn't actually realize that Alexandre Dumas was an African French person. Like, I just assumed he was like a white French person writing classic novels. I didn't actually realize he was black, and I was like, huh.
Who's this again? Who was
Count of Monte Cristo, Three Musketeers.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize
that's kind of I just assumed that, like, so there obviously does, like, the representation is really important. So, because you just want to be inclusive, and if you can better if you're more knowledgeable about other cultures and what they've gone through, and even if you just read works by other people to like help lift them up, it generally makes the world a better place. And you're more educated, you can go help educate other people.
Right.
Paying it forward.
Yeah. So I've definitely noticed that like this, like, I know that there are LGBTQ authors and Black authors and Asian authors, and lots of minority authors who are like coming to the forefront right now, and I think that's awesome and that we need to read them. But I also have noticed that like disability is kind of starting to fall into the realm of tokenism. I don't know if anyone else has realized this, but it seems like whenever disability is in there, it's in there in a token way. And I'm having trouble finding like genuine own voice disability rep.
I honestly haven't been able to find that in general. So I can't attest to the token thing. I personally like when there's representation. I know disability is not the same thing as like chronic health issues, but I relate to the chronic health issues. So I'm like, when a character like goes through those things, I'm like, cool, I feel seen. So
Yeah, right.
I know disability is like a different issue entirely, but it's both of those are like pretty rare to find, if at all.
Yeah, I feel like that and like trans movement is where we're going to need to see some really big pushes in publication, right? Like in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that all got really political really fast.
we're having a good discussion, I think. But anyway, this Gothtoberfest, I'm gonna have to put out a video because I want to participate.
Yes, I'm so happy that we're converting you. So
well, I didn't know it was happening. Y'all gotta tell me these things.
So Way of Kings live discussion is in 2 weeks, and I'm nervous because I have a lot of catching up to do. And
we're discussing in 2 weeks. Goodness gracious.
I know. And you guys are already done, and I'm like,
but see, I have to go back and remember what I read.
Exactly. What my concern is I don't want to get too far into Words of Radiance and accidentally spoil something during the Way of Kings discussion.
Right. Yes. I don't have that problem, which is nice.
I am like generally bad with spoiler things, but I think I've been doing an okay job with this reading and this like.
You really have, yeah.
I have to like really work at it though, because I'm like, wait, is this when was this thing?
When am I? So, Casey, when are you hosting the
Is that the 2 weeks from now?
Oh no, no. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get all of our announcements into this video.
October 31st is I believe it should be the second of the Words of Radiance check-ins.
Right. Yeah, and that'll be over on Casey's channel, and then I am hosting writing sprints next Saturday, which everyone is welcome to join in as also reading sprints or whatever solitary thing that you have to do.
They shouldn't.
What is it?
I said I'm hearing an echo. Does someone have YouTube open or something?
I unplugged my headphones. It might have been me. I sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I was getting ready to sign off unless you guys had anything else that you needed to say.
Nope, I'm good. I was just hearing the echo and I didn't know if anyone else. So
yeah,
it might have been me.
It's going to be there. That's all right. So yes, that is all the announcements that I have for tying this one up. If you guys have anything else to drop in, then go ahead and do it now. I guess Casey's going to put out a Gothtober TBR video.
I'm going to work it into the books that I already put into my fall TBR, but it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know what the heck the oldest purchased book on my TBR is, but like we'll figure it out.
I understand you don't have to do all the prompts. Like I'm probably only going to do like 2 or 3 because I want to focus on Words of Radiance. So like I'm just going to pick 2 or 3 that I already own that I can do prompts for, and then do that. So like don't feel like you have to do all 10 or however many there are.
I'll probably give a book for all 10, but with the disclaimer that I'm not saying I'm going to read all 10, but if I like have an abundance of time for some reason, I'll try my best. So
yes. All right, cool. Well, then I will see you guys on live again here in 2 weeks so we can discuss this book. And then we're going to move on with the Cosmere, and I'm excited.
Yay!
Good night, guys. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.